You are listening to the Self-Trust Solution Podcast with Dawn Leday, episode number 25. Welcome back. Today we have a topic that might resonate with many of you who have a bad taste in your mouth regarding goals. Maybe you've had past experiences of setting goals only to be pulled away by other responsibilities, or you find you start off really strong and then gradually lose momentum. Perhaps you associate goals with pressure, goals that are placed on you, and that causes you to avoid setting them altogether. But fear not, my friends, because it doesn't have to be this way. In today's episode, we're going to dive into the difference between setting goals with and without self-trust. We'll explore what to do when life happens and interrupts your progress, how you can stay on track no matter what, and one surprise gimme I personally use that feels indulgent and still gets things done. Is self-trust holding you back? Visit me at theselftrustcoach.com and take the free self-trust quiz. Find out where self-trust may be holding you back and receive instant results along with what you can do in response. Take the free self-trust quiz at theselftrustcoach.com. Now on to the episode. Let's begin by understanding the fundamental difference between setting goals with self-trust versus without it. When you set goals with self-trust, you start with a clear picture, including potential obstacles that may arise along the way. You're prepared to address them head on and often have strategies in place to overcome any challenge. On the other hand, setting goals without self-trust means starting with only that beautiful end in mind, painting this rosy picture of success. Here's the beginning where we are. Here's the end where we've achieved this goal. And without self-trust, you sort of just clear away the in-between. And what happens is when you do this, when obstacles inevitably arise, which they will, you think that something's gone wrong and either give up altogether or convince yourself that you can't achieve your goals. However, with self-trust, when we can look at, we know we have a clear understanding that there's here and there's there, and in between, there's going to be some steps we take. Some are going to work out the way we want, some aren't. We can prepare for that. We have this realization of the truth so that when those things arise, when obstacles occur, we don't throw our hands in the air and give up altogether or make it mean anything negative about ourselves. So what do you do, though, when quote unquote life happens and throws that proverbial wrench in your plans? The key is to never let it completely stop you. So instead, own your choice to divert momentarily from your original plan, if that's what you decide is necessary. Preparing for obstacles and life happening doesn't mean that we just forge forward and ignore real things that are happening in our lives. So, for example, if you have something on your schedule and all of a sudden your plans to, say, pick up your kids from camp fall through and you have to go and pick up your kids, you just want to own that that's a choice you're making. Like, I am choosing to go pick up my children instead of write these emails, if that's what was on your plan at that time. When we own that decision, we're making it on purpose, then we can also make on purpose what we want to do with that plan that we had to happen during that time. Just remember it's crucial not to define this diversion as something that's out of your hands. Because once it's out of your hands, when you're defining it that way, the truth is it never is out of your hands. And the truth is you're going to make the right decision that is best for you and who you want to be. So own that decision and then move forward accordingly. It could mean switching time slots, putting in a few extra hours of work, or adjusting your deadline. Whatever it takes, decide it deliberately, have your own back on that decision, and don't make it mean anything about your ability to meet your goal. You're still working towards your goal. Now, how can you stay on track no matter what? It all starts with recognizing that wanting to or not wanting to do something in the moment doesn't define your plan or progress. It's actually something that we can anticipate. Sometimes you'll want to do certain tasks, and other times you won't. But neither feeling is a prerequisite for taking action. Think about it. We all do things we don't want to do all the time, whether it's for a paycheck or to nurture a relationship. So why not do it for yourself, your relationship with yourself, and the goals you want to achieve? Remember, the discomfort in the moment doesn't diminish the value of what you're working towards. It doesn't mean you no longer want it. Just means that in the moment, sometimes we don't feel like doing what we planned on doing. And that's okay. And we can still do it anyway. So let's talk about the gimme technique that I built for myself. It's this little indulgent practice that I have that allows me to act a little out of character, or actually, I'm not going to even say that. It is very much in character and yet still get things done. So personally, I can be pretty stubborn when it comes to things I don't want to do. But like many of you, I find it easier to move forward on those tasks when other people are involved. For instance, I may not feel like recording a podcast episode, but I genuinely want you amazing listeners to have a new episode. So in those moments when my brain throws a temper tantrum about not wanting to do something, I give it the floor. And what I mean by that is instead of arguing with myself and trying to convince myself that I want to do something, I just give myself permission to complain and fuss as much as I want, but with one condition. I have to get the task done. Instead of turning it into a problem or judging myself, I allow the space for a full out fuss fest. And what's fascinating is that it never lasts long. It becomes somewhat comical. And instead of building walls within myself, I end up building more of a connection with my own determination and stubbornness, all while growing in self-trust, still moving forward on the things that I want to get done, whether it's for me or for someone else. What will you take away from today's episode? My goal is for you to revisit how you think about goals. Consider infusing self-trust into the process and anticipate obstacles that may come up along the way. Don't let life get in the way of your goals. And when it does, own your decision to allow that momentary diversion. Remember, it doesn't reflect anything about you or your ability to achieve your goals. Have your own back, make the necessary adjustments, and keep going. And hey, maybe find your own gimme technique for those moments when you don't want to do something. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of the Self Trust Solution Podcast. I hope you feel empowered and inspired to approach goal setting with a renewed sense of self trust. Remember, setbacks and detours are just part of the journey. Embrace the challenges, make choices that align with your values, and never lose sight of the dreams you're working towards. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more uplifting content and valuable insights. Together, we can navigate this beautiful journey of self-trust and create the lives we truly desire. Until next time, keep trusting yourself, my dear friends. Hey, if you're ready to build unshakable self-trust to achieve your goals and make the impact you're being called to make in a way that feels amazing, join me in Coach for Life. Coach for Life is the coaching program to build self-trust and achieve your goals. Join now at theselftrustcoach.com/Coach for Life program. That's Coach, the number 4, Life program. See you inside.